Volkswagen is facing a serious challenge from electric vehicles, as announced by the CEO in a recent development that has left many surprised and bewildered. The CEO expressed strong concerns about the company's competitiveness and financial health, likening the situation to being on the brink of crisis. Despite already experiencing a 50% decrease in demand, Volkswagen has decided not to lower the prices of their EVs, resulting in the dismissal of over 1,000 employees and halting EV production. Furthermore, Volkswagen has entered an unexpected partnership in a bid to salvage its position in the market. However, a looming threat from a Chinese competitor adds to the company's woes, potentially leading to its downfall. This unforeseen turn of events underscores the disappointment surrounding EVs, which were once hailed as the future of transportation. But what exactly is wrong with Volkswagen? And could the company face closure? The CEO's stark warning during an investor meeting shed light on the grim reality of Volkswagen's financial situation. He emphasized the mounting debt and dwindling competitiveness, particularly in the EV sector, where consumer interest is decreasing. Volkswagen, renowned for its legacy of producing high-quality cars, is struggling to keep pace with the evolving automotive landscape. Unlike newer EV manufacturers that prioritize cutting-edge technology, Volkswagen's offerings are criticized for their outdated interiors and exorbitant prices. The company finds itself pressured to transition to EV production, a move that further strains its resources and market standing. In essence, Volkswagen's future hangs in the balance as it grapples with the challenges posed by EVs and its own internal struggles. The decisions made by the CEO and the outcomes of its partnership will undoubtedly shape the company's trajectory in the coming years. It's official. Volkswagen is taking a bold stance against electric vehicles and halting EV production, signaling a significant shift in strategy. The situation for the company seems almost surreal, with recent developments painting a dire picture. To add to the woes, Volkswagen has implemented a controversial $150 fee for GPS coordinates in emergencies, as highlighted by Taylor Shepard's alarming experience in Illinois. This decision raises eyebrows, especially for a company of Volkswagen's stature, indicating a desperate attempt to generate revenue amidst challenging times. Competitors like Tesla and BYD, known for their affordable EV offerings, pose stiff competition to Volkswagen. The aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine conflict has further complicated matters, causing disruptions in the company's supply chain and exacerbating existing bottlenecks. Despite efforts to bounce back, Volkswagen's recovery remains sluggish, casting doubt on its future prospects. In a bid to address financial woes, VW announced plans in June to slash costs by a staggering $1 billion. The sense of urgency was palpable during a staff meeting, where CEO Thomas Schaefer and board member Gunnar Kilian underscored the need for drastic measures. Kilian's mention of cutting costs significantly and temporarily shelving EV production underscores the gravity of Volkswagen's predicament. When Schaefer likened the situation to the roof being on fire, it wasn't merely hyperbole. It was a stark acknowledgement of the urgency and severity of Volkswagen challenges. As the company navigates the transition to electric vehicles while maintaining a foothold in the global market with traditional internal combustion engine models, the road ahead appears increasingly uncertain. During a recent meeting attended by over 2,000 senior managers, a call to action was issued by Schaefer, urging an immediate halt on spending due to escalating costs. Highlighting the forthcoming challenges, Schaefer emphasized the importance of focusing on incremental victories in the upcoming weeks and months. However, the hurdles facing Volkswagen extend beyond financial constraints. In China, Volkswagen's largest market, sales have taken a hit, prompting the company to reduce prices on their most profitable models to stay competitive against Chinese counterparts in both electric and traditional vehicle segments. Turning to EV production, Volkswagen made headlines in October by ceasing production of 2 flagship EV models at its German factories, citing dwindling demand exacerbated by cuts in government subsidies. This decision resulted in layoffs affecting around 1,000 employees at the Zwickau plant, reflecting the harsh realities of the shifting EV landscape. Moreover, escalating costs in Europe have prompted VW, along with industry peers like BMW and Tesla, to explore manufacturing opportunities in China for export purposes. Volkswagen's plans to introduce the new electric SUV, the ID.4, in Europe next year, produced in China, highlight the company's strategic pivot. However, uncertainties loom over this approach, particularly with the EU investigating Chinese EV subsidies. The situation is compounded in the US market, where Volkswagen's EVs may not qualify for subsidies, further inflating costs for consumers. In response to these challenges, the company has formed alliances with undisclosed partners seeking salvation amidst turbulent times. Delving into the reasons behind the sluggish sales of Volkswagen's EVs, the volatility of the EV market becomes apparent. While once hailed as the future, EVs have failed to gain widespread traction, particularly among the middle class, who are deterred by high prices and limited range. The inadequacy of charging infrastructure further complicates matters, highlighting a gap between expectations and reality. Furthermore, there's a growing concern over governmental pressures on companies like Volkswagen, Ford, and GM to prioritize EVs at the expense of internal combustion vehicles. While the mandate for EV adoption persists, little attention is paid to addressing the affordability crisis faced by consumers. This disparity underscores the complex dynamics at play in the automotive industry's transition to electrification. So, you're probably wondering about the whole ban on gas-powered cars, right? But what about regular folks who just want a car that won't break the bank? It seems like everyone got hyped up about this electric vehicle's future, but now it's kind of fizzling out. The truth is, EVs are still pretty pricey for the average person. According to Cox's Automotive, the average selling price for an EV was around $6,183 in November. That's not exactly pocket change. And then there's the issue of charging these things. In the US, there are about 141,142 charging stations, but a lot of them are the slow kind or just not convenient to use. So, what are the big car companies doing about all of this? Well, some of the heavy hitters like Volkswagen, General Motors, Ford, and even Tesla are kind of pumping the brakes on their EV plans. GM and Ford have hit pause on building new EV factories and scaled back their sales targets. Honda even scrapped a plan to make affordable EVs with GM. On top of that, battery makers like Panasonic and LG Energy Solution are warning about a slowdown in the EV market. But here's where Volkswagen really dropped the ball. Picture this: you're running a shop, but nobody's really buying what you're selling. You'd think about dropping prices, right? Well, not Volkswagen. Even though their sales are down, they're not slashing prices like other car makers are. Their chief financial officer, Arnold Onlet, says it's all part of their plan to bounce back and make more money. They're focusing on cutting costs elsewhere, but it's leaving them out of touch with what their customers want. Volkswagen's recent quarterly reports haven't been great, especially when it comes to raw material prices. They've had to adjust their profit margin guidance for the year because they're just not hitting the numbers they were hoping for. Onlet has expressed disappointment over this, but it looks like they're sticking to their guns when it comes to their pricing strategy. Their EV order intake in Europe took a nosedive, dropping from 300,000 in 2022 to a mere 150,000 this year. That's a significant decline. However, Onlet remains upbeat, pointing to a gradual uptick in orders during the third quarter and forecasting further growth in the near future. But fear not, as Volkswagen is exploring a potential partnership with none other than Renault. The aim? Developing a budget-friendly $20,000 car, a price point that certainly catches the eye. This isn't just any ordinary EV. It's envisioned as a vehicle that will make electric cars accessible to the masses. Talks are still in the early stages and shrouded in secrecy, but the potential impact could be substantial. With an ambitious target of producing 200,000 to 250,000 vehicles annually, this collaboration could flood the market with EVs like never before. But that's not all. Volkswagen is also teaming up with XPeng in China to manufacture more affordable batteries and roll out 10 new EV models priced under $30,000 within the next 5 years. It's a bold move, but whether it will pay off remains to be seen. For Volkswagen to regain its footing, it's crucial that they heed the feedback of consumers. The future of EVs appears uncertain, and if current trends persist, we may witness some major shakeups in the industry. What's your take? Do you think Volkswagen has what it takes to emerge victorious in the EV race? Share your thoughts in the comments below.